All right, we are recording back here with Gear Talk. I'm with Neva, Harris, and Bane. Um, Harris, did you ever get your Discord fixed? Okay, I'll take that as a no.
Take that as a no.
Well, let me check. Yeah, it's fixed.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, back here with Gear Talk. You guys know the drill. We talk about gear, hopefully help you guys. We got people in the chat asking questions. Neva, why don't we start with your intro first, and then we can go from there.
What's up, gentlemen? I am Neva. We host this Gear Talk channel just to try to get some knowledge out there and have some fun and just hang out. On to you, Bane.
Hi, I'm Bane. I have imposter syndrome. Answer your own damn questions.
Every week.
Harris.
Hello, I'm your favorite cunt. Goodbye.
Well, I mean,
Short, sweet, to the point.
at least his intro is consistent.
Yeah, very, very. All right. So before we start the stream and everything like that, these you was asking a couple of questions regarding your king and everything, correct? So, why don't we go ahead and pick that up and start there and see what we can talk about?
Sounds good.
These. So go ahead, ask away, brother. Ask away about the king, bro.
Like his skills are at 60, but what pains and what gems do I need to focus on for him if because he's going to be my main?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Uh,
And
Kane's Andromeda first.
yes.
Andromeda is just, gives you the pen. It's all high infantry stats, and the skill block's useful for a plethora of things, especially as a main. Helps versus tanks and such. And because you don't want guaranteed hits, there's not all that many options for gems because you can't use Gemini, can't use Sagittarius. So that leaves you, like, generally speaking, King is squishy because most of the time you run tier 11 infantry. So Virgo doesn't really do anything for you, neither does Ares. Other than two-piece Virgo for Sui, when you switch to Sui Pen, you'll want that. But till then, doesn't really do much for you. So most people would run Andromeda Canes Pisces because running tier 11, Pisces helps tank hits. Sometimes, somewhat. You don't have to run Pisces. Hercules is okay, just for high stats. And you could do like two-piece Perseus. You don't want the three-piece because don't want any accuracy. There isn't really that many options. You could technically run Walker Gems depending on which troops you're relegated to at the time. For example, Cassiopeia wouldn't be terrible on him, except for if you're running tier 11 infantry, it'd be next to useless.
Alright.
So, like, Andro, Canes, two-piece Virgo, Pisces, and two-piece Libra, probably about average. If you're running Sweet Pen, especially, because the Virgo and the Libra for pen and tier suppression. Usually, if you're running King, he has ambition, generally. So, makes sense to have tier suppression.
So being a
yeah.
former king main, I used to love King, right? King's a very strong comm, still a strong comm in the game today. The equipment you use on him more often than you used to, it has definitely changed. I started on the same set with you, but I always kept the same type of gem sets on there. So what I did with King is I stacked attack because you don't want any accuracy or any guaranteed hits, right? So I did run the full Andro, I did run the full Canes as Bana suggested and everything, but I also ran a two-piece Leo for the extra attack damage. A two-piece Gemini for the extra attack damage. But I did end up running the full set Virgo. So if I was to have changed it back then, I would have dropped the drop down to a two-piece Virgo and thrown in I really get that extra tier suppression and everything, but that way when you're going up against Reinhardt's especially. Because fun fact about that king, if you set it up right, you can actually kill you could actually kill Reinhardt's that one. But that's what I personally ran myself. Now Pisces was always an option. It's always a strong option for king if you want a full set. But with king, it's about stacking that attack damage, right? So, like, I also had 2 perfect hurt attack gems on there as well. So you just want for the attack stats. So that's how I run my king personally.
Yeah, because the sweep pen set that's on Sister Wolf is actually gonna go on king.
Yes. So,
Once I obviously get the levels up.
Mm-hmm.
So for now, he's just got the attack set on him.
Let me do something real quick here.
If you're putting gems on the attack set right now, like I wouldn't waste canes on a set that you're not going to use later. Canes is not cheap.
They were going to go on to the sweep pen set because I can use it both for king and Sister Wolf.
For an attack set, if that's what you're going to be using for a short while, I would do like Andro Pisces, just 2 sets, because that's easy, cheap, and not hard to get more.
Yep.
Because you don't really need the Virgo for anything. You might want 2-piece Libra, but it's not that important. If you want like just basic 2 sets, would be Andro Pisces till you switch over, and don't waste canes on it because that's the expensive way to lose things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's hold on. Let me go. I actually sent these to myself so we could see them. So everyone's. This is how I had mine set up. These, if you're watching the stream.
Yes, I am.
So I had Kings, full piece. Andrew, full suit.
Yeah.
Like I said, the 2 hurts were perfect hurt. So that's why I had those on there. I could throw anything else in the mix if I wanted to, and been fine. Because with King, it's not about. Getting the full set of gems. You don't have to do that. You just want full set of Android, full set of Kings, right? Those are two full sets that you want. And then you can play around with pretty much everything else. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are so many different options you can do with the 2-piece and get some good benefits from it, like the Libra. Geminis, as you can see here, add boosted a fuck ton of attack. I don't remember if I have another. I would have to look at my phone real quick. I don't know if I have another. What you call it? Screenshot of the actual overall stats off the top of my head. I'm still available, but it did hit really hard. It did this job with the sweep hand because this was on my sweep hand set, so it did the job very, very, very well.
All right. I've just got to get more gems so I can add gems to the set. That's all.
But your first focus is definitely going to be Kane and Andrew.
Yeah, well, hopefully I'll get the Canes tomorrow with reset with a score of 63, just over 63k.
Oh, shit.
Whoop, whoop, level 40 AI.
What?
You're using Pioneer, right?
These?
Yes, I have Pioneer.
Like, I didn't want to have to smack you this early in the session.
It's level Pioneer is on King, yes.
Yeah, definitely want Pioneer.
Yeah, that just just to say it out loud in general, if you are a small one slot bus player, and literally most players in general should be running Pioneer as their main AI. It's the only one that activates round one. It's the only one that helps attack comms and one slot bus comms. It works well on Plasma. It works well most places. You could even run it on Orochi and like Tank Black, etc. The Pioneer is the most universal AI and the only one that activates in round one. So most people that aren't running a tank main should be using it.
I agree.
There's a few select other places you can run Celerity or AI1, etc. But one slot busts want Pioneer.
I agree. Any damage comes really, right? So any high damage comes. So that Pioneer doesn't just give you the boost and everything. But that extra attack damage is just freaking awesome. I mean, I have a low level AI bot right now. My apologies. I still got to work on it and grind it out. But still, even at the level it's at, that's an additional 19.8% damage per month, right? So that's freaking insane, dude. It's a lot of damage. It's stacked, so it's a lot of fucking damage. That helps you. Now, when you get up to like Harris, because Harris is like freaking crazy high, it's an insane amount of additional attack damage for just doing to help you out. So on an Ira or a King, Black, really anything, any high damage comms, that you're definitely going to want to have a little bit more fun. I mean, do a lot more damage with. I agree 100% with what you're saying there, buddy. Harris, what do you got to say, sir? You run a high ass level AI. What do you got to say?
Hello, how you doing, guys?
Blue. How are you?
Who dis?
It's Evil, Lucifer.
What's up, man?
How are you doing, guys?
Doing well.
Sorry,
Sir.
I just
Doing well.
joined you.
It's okay. No, you're fine, man. You're fine. We were just discussing King and Pioneer.
King and Pioneer.
Yeah, the AI bot.
The
Pioneer.
bot.
Yes. Good Thursday, movie. All right, D, do you have any more questions, sir?
No, that pretty much sums it up.
Okay. Well, anybody else have any questions for us today? I mean, would hate to not have a lot of people asking questions today. Travel.
No, I'm good. I'm just listening in. I'm
Yeah,
taking all the advice. Appreciate it.
Feel free to pick a random subject upon which I will rant.
There we go. All right.
Okay, so random subject for rant. We got the mobilization, right? If you guys had to pick between the Geist Stone and the 45 upgrade, which one would you take?
Ooh.
Mm,
The GGM all depends on the vids, right? So
It depends on what you need. It depends on what you need. 45
Yeah.
bots aren't too difficult to get. But like then again,
Right.
Geist Stones and Spirit Stones are way harder for smaller players to get than bots. If you're a bigger player and you've been playing for a while, and if you're spending a decent amount and ranking high in All Star, etc., you're going to be getting Geist and Spirit Stones pretty regularly over time, especially in a high GB ranking guild. You're going to get one or two per season that way, and eventually you're just going to run out of gear to put it on, or you're going to run out of bots to upgrade the gear. So it depends
Right.
on what you need. If you're a small player, Geist Stones are huge. If you're a bigger player, it's which depends on circumstances.
Right.
So
I can use
for
either
example,
one. Great question.
Go ahead.
Dice stones are what you need for your third slot, aren't they?
Well, technically,
I
Geist
believe
are slot.
so.
Technically, Geist are slot 4. Spirit Stones are slot 3.
Right.
Right, dice are stock full.
Technically, it really doesn't matter unless you're trying to unlock all of them to finish your last set, and you need a specific one for
Yep.
the last one for that piece. But generally speaking, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but when you're trying to really build out a set and everything, you know, you want to make sure you're going for the right specific ones. So it really depends. Like in your case, Travel, I would from working with you in the background and everything like that. Like honestly, the Jai Stones are probably especially since you just got those 2 new pieces. That's probably your best bet to go for that versus the Nano, because Nano always goes high in GGM anyway. Because it
Right.
is, you know, very useful. But a Jai Stone, in your case, in your scenario, would actually help more at this moment in time, because that gives you an additional slot to complete your cane set, or an additional slot to, if you already got canes completed, to add into that additional pin gem to get you full pins. You know what I'm saying? So I
That
personally
is
would suggest
exactly the perfect point.
yeah. So I would suggest that for you specifically, I would suggest going for that Jai Stone. But keep in mind, it does go high. Like last
I'm sitting on
last
top of the
week.
board right now.
Last
I'm
week.
at 64. I'm at 63,450. So,
Oh, that's
and
pretty
that
good.
next, yeah, the next. Well, I made sure this week that I was gonna be at the top of the board inside the guild.
Very nice, sir.
I'm
Alrighty,
sitting above Mocker by
so
at least 200 points.
where did it go?
I'm sitting at 12K points. Is that bad?
Yeah, I don't ever do GM.
I was like that last
That's
week, but I was in the process of moving between work sites, so I didn't. Yeah, I hit like 12K as well.
I'm just being lazy on the weekends. Do the
So
first
last
10
week,
tasks.
last week it went for 63,162.
Yeah, right now I think I am now the highest bidder. The highest bidder before me was 63, 2 or 3 something.
Yeah, so whoever
now,
that is, you're out of luck.
yeah, so now I'm the highest bidder. But it's kind of funny because the 45 bot, its highest bidder is 63.6. There's only 50 units, but I'm 150 points behind that highest bidder. And I've seen it more than once. When you are that far away from the highest bidder, there, even with 50 units available, you just don't get it.
Yeah, so the 45 bot went for oh shit. So excuse me, I lied to you. That 45 bot was the one that went for 63,162. The Guy Stone went for 62,839. So yeah, that's last week. Week before, 63,067, 62. So yeah, you'll get your Guy Stone for sure. But in your personal, that's what I would say in your personal opinion, because you still have some disposable gear, that you can really play with if you truly wanted to. You know what I'm saying? So you can get your
No, I
45 if you
totally
need.
get it.
You can easily get
I
45 if you want to.
I totally get it. Right now, I'm just concentrating on making sure that everything is unlocked, all 4, and then Nanto's already at 45. My next thing going up is going to probably be the Tan Lang, because it's already at
So
42.
I'm about to put you into an area you need to go to. Okay, I'm about to give you the direction here for you. Okay, so you need to level up. Just don't worry about leveling up your chest piece or your pants until your headpiece and your both weapons are leveled up. Go with Tangling first. That's going to get you a higher pin, because Tangling is base 6% pin, and then you're only going to go with your Broken Fortress and your Alcade, right? Or have you got your Broken Fortress added in yet?
Broken Fortress and Alcade are both at 40 right now.
Okay.
Panlang's at 42. And so, yeah, my based on what you and I talked about previously, I was going after the Tanlang as my next set of upgrades. So now I'm just working through the gear to fit to recover some 45 bots so that I can push the Tanlang up to 45.
Yeah.
And go after the weps.
Yeah. So you at least want to get everything 45 and everything. You're going to have to definitely put some pin gems in there. But at the same time, though, you don't need that many. You're because you have that tangling. But once you start getting, once you get everything set up at the 45 minutes like that, start boosting that to 50. Like still go with your tangling and your Broken Fortress and your Alcade first. boosting them up to the
Right.
50 mark, and then you'll go with your pants and your then you'll go to chest. So like in your case, because you're running, because that's a good thing. Vane, there was a lot of questions this week I've seen in our Walker channels and everything. People want to know how to run Fisher Wolf as a main commander. So like I will say this, and like we said last week, with running a Walker main, it does require a lot more in-depth focus into the game because Walkers are a little bit more difficult to run than infantry and air. What'd you say, Harris?
Walkers is suicide.
No, it's not. Not entirely. If you know what you're doing, it's not. You got to know what you're doing. That's all it is. And if you don't know what you're doing, it's suicide. If you don't have high end, it's suicide. If you don't have high research, it's suicide. That's just going to be honest with you on that. Yes, I agree on those particular aspects. But I will say that Walker can be very rewarding and very essential to your team if you can and have the ability to run Walkers. So, like for Sister Wolf, there's a multitude of things you can run with Wolf, right? Especially in your T12 stages. For example, a common build is Formal Hot, Dual Alcade, right?
Yes.
Right.
And Tyrese for the dodge, and then I guess HP maybe. And Pants, he can run Fire Spirits, right? You got just use a little bit on dodge. So that's what you would run if you're running something like Blue Hunts, right? If you're running the high damage, stuff that you don't want to take a hit, right? So that's a good thing you could run on Wolf. But personally, I like the tankier style myself, which could be a Regulus, if you have that available, or Beetlejuice, if you don't have, Beetlejuice is also really good, or Nanto. Nanto is probably your best in the slot right now for your Wolf. I would personally say. Wouldn't you agree, babe?
Yeah, it's just because Wolf doesn't really have a guaranteed hit, so the accuracy is nice. Although that depends on the plugin you're running. If you're using Mind Map, the accuracy is not that useful. But straight up all around, because you're going to want to use Steam Cannon a good portion of the time, if not always. So having high accuracy is useful.
Mm-hmm.
And the crit where the damage reduction is the same as Beetlejuice, so.
Yep. So if you don't have Nanto, you can definitely run Beetlejuice and get away with it. And get an RWE and you get crit with her with that. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing because hunks still can be sweet. People forget that, Walkers still can be sweet, even though you don't see it very happen very often because you see a lot of RWE built into Walker's builds.
That plus with power of Walkers, generally speaking, you're running at least 2 troop types at any given time, and generally that's usually including at least 1 slot of Void Skaters. So you're a little bit more secure than some other.
Agreed. So you're wanting just the crit wither and the damage reduction mainly out of the Beetlejuice, right?
Yeah, for survival. That's in essence the point. Because Beetlejuice doesn't actually have enough RWE on its own anyway, other than maybe versus Suipen because it has a lower level of Sui, but versus straight up Sui, it's not enough. It requires a chest piece to go with it. So like Magrez or Ambition. Otherwise, you don't actually have enough RWE with the Beetlejuice anyway.
Agreed. So you'll see a lot of Wolf run Ambition because the Wolf is still utility as well, and she can be a main, but she's also a utility. So she goes after those T1, T2 round hearts a lot, and those with mind map those Orochis and everything. So you want to have that tear suppression as well. So that's why I would personally suggest an Ambition over Magrez myself. That added HP makes her a little bit more tanky, but if you're running into like the higher damage wolves, like the dual allocated version wolves and everything like that, then you're gonna want that extra tear suppression against those little, round hearts and everything. So you're not really caring about tank stats that the Magrez offers, such as the resistance to the HP.
Ambition's more universal as a 1 slot bus piece. Magrez really isn't. It doesn't have enough RWE to stand on its own. Resistance isn't a 1 slot bus stat. and it doesn't have tier suppression. Ambition will work with a full-on one-slot bust build as well as a tank build. It
Yes.
doesn't do either one better, it just does both.
Yes. And see, that's the fun part about Wolf. So you can run hybrid on Wolf. And a lot of times you can't run a hybrid build on Wolf. You can run a hybrid build. So, like, for example, a good combination Wolf that you'll see run often. When I don't know necessarily often, but a good amount of the time would be a Wolf with a Tangling, right? Dual Alcade, right? Where is it? There it is. For the attack and the accuracy in the pin, obviously. And Ambition and Beetlejuice for that extra, tankiness to it. Now, that's kind of an older style. Of course, like I said, like if you go best in the slots and everything, you can go into even more depth. Like you can run it like at high damage reduction Wolf, and you could be successful. You can run. There's
Yeah,
there's so much
the
you can
old
run on Wolf.
build's just less effective in general because it does not ignore Broken Fortress, and it also does not have a Broken Fortress, so you're a little bit more vulnerable. It's not really tanky enough anymore. It used to be
Not
tanky
anymore.
enough.
Yeah.
It depends on what you're fighting, though. Like, it can be very effective versus select things, but straight up, usually it's not.
Yeah, and I was talking about for more of on the smaller fighting side and everything like that, because those pieces of gear are usually to tank, right? But you also, I'm a Wolfman, so, and I run a pretty stout Wolf. I personally run a Regulus, Ambition, Alcade, Broken Fortress, and Tangling. So I don't ignore
Yeah.
DR, but I also have that
Your
tankiness
your
about myself where I'm surviving it.
fourth is tank. Your fourth is tank with still full pen and high damage,
Mm-hmm.
and a little bit of an attack base. It's more effective, especially versus smaller one slot busts that just won't hit hard enough to actually dent you.
Yeah.
And then you can still tank hits from big tanks and such.
Mm-hmm. So it's definitely so that's one of the really strong Wolves. One of the stronger Wolf builds is a Regulus, Ambition, Broken Fortress, Alcade, Tangling. Now, of course, you could throw a full behind in there where they try to ignore DR, but you lose your tankiness.
That general
Regulus.
build works on most high damage one slot bust type comms. Like, for example, you could run that on DS, and it will clear a lot of smaller. Like, to beat it, you have to send bigger generally, unless of course it's a black. Black will just beat it because black's a dick.
I agree.
But like versus other DSs and Sister Wolves and such, they have to send bigger if they want to beat you.
Yep.
Makes it annoying.
But yeah, exactly. And also the fun fact about it is where walkers start to shine is when you have the right combination in gear. So like I have a hybrid build. I have a shit ton of I have some good HP, a good amount of HP. I have a lot of damage reduction. I have a decent, solid amount of attack. Pretty damn solid amount of attack actually. But it all comes down to talents as well. So like you want to make sure that when you're running Walker, you have a good talent setup, talent based setup. Like you want to go with like maxing these talents out. So like final defense and HP is a good one to have. Red shot's awesome. Power of Walkers is awesome. Because with interference field, healing field, those are the combinations of what I run. Run healing field, interference field, power of Walkers, spread shot, HP, and final defense. Because I run a mixed march. I run time walkers in front, blue hunks in the back. So those combination of talents mixed with the right combination of gear makes it to where the wolf is actually hitting hard. She's healing spot, but she's also healing back up. But she has a heal effect now. She has multiple heal effects. Because people don't think of power of walkers, and what they think about is just what the ability of it to remove debuffs, right? But it also has at the max level a 50% revive of units. That's a huge revive, right? Couple that with a healing field, for example, And every time you're doing damage, you're reviving 48 to 60% of your troops. I mean, 6% of the damage rates recover an HP. You're going to heal back a fuck ton of your troops, if not all the way your full slot. You know what I mean? So definitely want to focus in on your talents if you're trying to main a wolf. Or any walker com for that matter, but definitely a wolf. Like you need that right combination of stuff to make it work. Would you not agree, babe? Now, obviously, there are other ways you can run wolf. You know, if you're just specifically trying to target, smaller, like Reinhardt for smaller base things. You see, attack damage, attack builds. You see a sweep in build. You see, wolf is a very versatile comic. If you're in with a lot of different things. You know what I mean? So she's still there. She's still a strong con. So it's just about what you have to work with and everything, and what your goal is. Like me, my end goal is to have a hybrid tank build that's going to fuck shit up in the process, and that's exactly what I try to do every time I send my march out. So, but walkers do take a lot of investment. Like I said, if you listen to the gear that we were naming off, they're all high end pieces. You can't get away with running a Dev Helm dual Titans on a wolf anymore. I'm going to be honest.
Right now, the only way to run walkers as a main is high tech. You can run utility sister wolf with basic tier 12, etc. You just have to pick your fights way more selectively.
Mm-hmm. But if you're trying to mainer, you're going to want to definitely do some deep investment. Like a sweep pin set on a wolf is a good utility set for wolf, but that's not a main set for wolf. That would be something like the Tangling Dual Alcades, or Formal Dual Alcade, Antari's Fire Spirit, or the hybrid tank build that I run, which is Tangling, Broken Fortress, Alcade, Ambition, Regulus. So those are a couple of different options you can run there, but you can't get away with running you just can't get away with throwing around gear or trying to main a wolf. Or any walker com for that matter. At all. There's not a lot of options, unfortunately. Any more questions? Sorry, I just wanted to go and cover that because I know we had some people asking in chat earlier in the week. So. Do you have any questions, comments, concerns? People for the group? We don't have to sit here on mute.
Yeah, this isn't GP. You don't have to be muted.
Yeah, talk.
Just no TVs in the background.
Please, yes, no. I have mine turned off for a reason. We're not listening to friends today. Well, guys, y'all can actually speak, hang out, talk, and everything. You don't have to sit there muted, like I said.
All right.
I don't think you guys want to hear all of the stuff in the background here, so don't worry about
it.
All right, I got a random question for you. So,
what was good?
So as you guys know, like eventually I'll be moving into IRA. Now, here's the question: when I get 80 ether energy metal thingies, you know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when I get 80 of those.
No, we're dumb.
Well, I know Bane is. That's why I'm trying to describe it properly. Anyway, so here's the question: do I get a Ruthless, which is good for IRA or King, whatever, or should I wait to pick up like a utility commander like Dragon Slayer?
You can't get Ruthless for 80.
Yeah,
if they offer Ruthless, it's a 300 piece.
No, it's 80.
Where it is?
Yeah, there was one where it was Ruthless.
I'm reasonably sure that you're nuts. I am reasonably sure that you're nuts.
I'm reasonably sure. I clicked on it and I said, "Is that a fucking Ruthless for 80?"
Dude, no, I think you're right, because I was cussing left and right because I just spent my 80 and I was like, son of a gun. But I don't know.
Serious? I did not. I missed that, dude. I would snag that, dude.
I
Snag
would.
that.
I doubt that was a thing.
I'm telling you,
I'm having serious
I
doubt.
I fucking
All of the
looked at it.
pieces that are for 80, there's like it takes 6 of those to make one. There's
Okay.
no way.
Okay, look.
That was a glitch.
It gotta be a glitch.
Well,
God,
if
because if that was
7P
for 80,
if
oh my God.
7P changed it, all I'm saying is I looked at it and I was like, that's a fucking Ruthless for 80. Now I don't have the coins to get it.
To be honest, the question there is, I would still probably get. It depends on how hard it is for you to get the commander. Ruthless can be gotten other ways, whereas getting a commander to S class is quite difficult these days if they're not being offered in the regular releases.
Well, for me it would be DS,
I
which is
would.
impossible.
Right, but also if you're like not maining airships, there isn't that much reason to get a DS. There
Agreed.
is that.
Absolute
I
suppression
100%
build.
agree with that. That because I mean the
Espe-
thing is where
Especially
people
if you're
feel
211. If there's
Yeah.
a Ruthless there for 80 and you're tier 11 infantry, there is no good reason for you to get a DS.
zero reason whatsoever.
Like,
You want to
get
if you're
that
going
Ruthless.
for a main exactly. If you're going for a main set, like if you're working on a main set and it's not the primary, and you're in a column that's not in your primary thing, and you're not where you need to be on your main yet, get the shit that makes your main better. You want to. That's the one thing that a lot of players, unfortunately, especially at the mid spin, low spin, or even free to play level, fail to realize. You will build up multiple upon multiple upon multiple comms with multiple upon multiple upon multiple gear, and then you lose your combat effectiveness because you got everything spread out. You don't have anything completed, and now you're wondering why. Well, why can I not beat this guy in the cap? Why can I not beat this guy in the GB? Why can I not beat this
I
guy
feel
in the game
attacked.
in
I feel
the cap?
attacked.
You're different, Bane. You're different. I'm
Well-
not attacking you, sir, specifically.
I feel attacked.
But
Yeah, but of the commanders in the Ether shop that are generally offered, like Sister Wolf and Hancock are the only two that I would really contemplate, unless you're an airship main, in which case, hell yeah, get DS. But if you're not an airship main, Hancock and Sister Wolf are the only two there worth spending chips to get. Because most of the rest of them are either junk or easily obtained. Hancock, technically, you can get for free if you do the Voltaire, but like that's just so much an obscene amount of factions, and I refuse to do that. So, yeah, and Sister Wolf's not really offered other than if you want to spend an absurd amount of coins to get her. So those are the only two I would get from the Ether shop. If there's a Ruthless in there and you're maining King or Ira, and you don't get that for 80, I would slap you.
I agree, 100%. If you've seen it for 80 and you didn't grab it, now I'm upset that y'all didn't grab it for 80, or at least tell us that it was available at 80.
I thought you guys saw it.
I did not see it. No, if I saw that,
No.
I'd snag that, dude.
Before
I did not see it. I still deny that it exists.
Okay.
But
Before
I also already have a Ruthless, so
well, yeah,
and I
be-
don't have 80 Ether, so I couldn't get it either way.
before we
I
cycled
mean,
over.
Nile,
push to grab it. You can still push to grab it though, but the thing is, I just had enough. I just spent my 80 of my ether coin. I mean, ether thingies, the little diamond shits,
Yo,
whatever you want
okay.
to call them.
Yep.
This is how
Like,
you. This is how
2
you
weeks
know
ago,
I
3
was.
weeks ago, sir.
This is how you know I was shocked because I saw it. Battle Maid. It was the spot right above her. That's where the Ruthless was, before it cycled over.
Huh.
That was where the Ruthless was because I was staring at it like, this doesn't look right. What the fuck? But I swear to God, it was there.
Well,
Was this before they did all the updates 6 times that week? Was that during that time?
No, this was before it cycled over to this next one.
Well, hey, if you missed it, you missed it.
Cycle.
that's
I
probably
would
the very last time you'll see that.
Yeah, that's not coming back.
I mean,
No.
I was nowhere near able to get it, but I was like, oh, that's a fucking Ruthless.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
that's a
if
300.
you have the Ether and you don't have the Ruthless, you should totally grab that if it ever shows up. But the chances that it shows up again and it's not a glitch are not very high.
No, unfortunately.
I mean, it was in there the whole time, the whole month.
Cost the The Ruthless costs the same as a Formula, Regulus, etc. Any piece of gear like that or a Marat is 300, generally speaking. I definitely didn't see it, and during that time, I got Sister Wolf. I'm reasonably sure from it, and I would have seen it if it was there.
I'm gonna go back through some
So-
screenshots.
It might
see
have
if I
just
took a
been.
screenshot
It might have
of it.
been just your account, like a glitch. It might have been a
It could
glitch.
have been a glitch. Which probably more than likely what would have happened if it was a glitch or something by 7 feet. I'm just gonna be honest. You probably would have got your ether coin, spent it, and then they would have took it back from you and never gave your ether coins back.
Oh, they gonna give me my ether
God.
coins back.
Nah, I hear you.
I will never not
Go
make a
ahead.
video about it.
Go ahead and exploit the 7p fuck up and watch what happens.
Yeah, it's
God.
not an exploitation. It's them exploiting you. Don't fall for it.
Don't.
If you see
Please don't.
something that is too good to be true, it's because it
It
is
is.
too good to be true, and they will not fix it the way they're supposed to.
No, they will not.
You're not
It's bad.
exploiting shit. You will have a very bad day afterwards because we're going to take whatever you had and put it in the negative, and you'll never get enough back.
I would
Yeah.
literally make a video every single day about that.
You would never like if more than likely if you would have bought that Ruthless for 80 and it would have been a glitch, they would have taken the Ruthless from you and you wouldn't have had no fucking. And that's including if you put any levels on it.
I have
And
seen people
using it for
like
physical
negative
time.
billions of gold. I've seen people negative thousands of UC, hundreds of PC. Like, it's ridiculous. If you see a glitch, do not buy that thing trying to get rich quick. It does not work that way. They don't refund you the stuff. They take it all back and then give you back what you spent on it. Or no, they don't even give you back what they spent.
No, they don't. You
How
don't
does
get
that
your
work?
They don't give
But
it
how
back.
would
Like-
that be a glitch though?
Extremely rare that you get back. It's extremely rare you get back the stuff you get that you spent on it. You have to push the right buttons in order for them to go, okay, fine, you can have back your resources or whatever. But it's like you said, it's like 1 or 2 and 2 out of 10 times.
Yeah, it's terrible. But like for example, like if you said you've seen Ruthless for 80, it's definitely a glitch. 100%. Yeah, it's fine. 100% a glitch because next ether shop is an Antares for 300. Now, yeah, they got to swallow a crafting piece. They got a red pupil for 80, which is not a bad good thing if you're an infantry main. But they got ambition for 80, which is actually a crafting piece now. So I mean,
But
they got a
like
crafting piece that's cheap.
right now, they're offering a meteor for 80. A meteor is 1/5 of the pieces needed to craft a formula. So if you see
Yeah.
a formula in there, it'll be 300.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
And as I said, and then Terry's is in that 300 slot next time. Don't do that, by the way. Don't you dare spend that. Don't you dare spend 300 ether coins on a fucking Antares. Anybody?
I'll slap you.
Yeah, it's very hard.
Really, to be honest, you shouldn't spend $300 coins on any of the gear that they're offering in there ever. It's just not worth it. Like I would get 4. I would Maraki maybe. Like
Yeah,
if I had 300, I wouldn't do it just because I've already got 40 blueprints and I'm just too pissed off about it at this point to give up those 40 blueprints. Plus that's 4.5 nanobots. That's massive value.
I agree, but they do not offer the Marak that often anymore. When's the last time you seen it in an event?
No, they gotta drop the price. If they don't drop the price on that soon, I'm gonna be like severely pissed off because at this point it's almost stupid. It's been out longer than anything else, and it's still not a primary piece. You can only run it on like 2 commanders.
Yeah,
there's no way that they don't drop the price on those stupid things sooner than later.
Man, did they drop it on any of them though? Is the thing though. Like, let's see here. Like all the red stuff pieces were expensive for no reason.
The Fecta and the Alioth are both trash.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, no, they're trash.
They're
They're not garbage, I suppose. I guess they're not total trash, but when you compare the price to literally just a straight up Alcade, they're trash. I would take an Alcade before I used either of those.
The Marat though, the Marat, you don't see it very often in events anymore, and it is a strong piece for infantry, two particular commanders.
The problem with it is though that A Broken Fortress is technically better, and you can use it way more places, and it's about the same price.
Yeah. So they did got drop. I feel like they didn't need to drop the price on it. Yeah, I agree with you on that one for sure. That's so useful. Nice piece. Now, especially since they fixed it. Out of the three red weapons, the Marak definitely was the better one out of those. These two are just. Ugh.
What's funny is it started off worse until they fixed it 3 years later,
Yeah.
and I still don't have it because they don't release the blueprints. It's literally the last piece of gear that I need. The Marak is the only one I don't have.
That's funny. But yeah, no, if you see a Ruthless in there, it's probably going to be a glitch. Just be careful. But if you see it, and if they do offer it and it's actually not a glitch, grab that motherfucker.
If that was a glitch, they'd probably give you back your ether for that one. That one, you might be able to get your stuff back and just say that wasn't what I ordered, so give me back my ether.
Yeah, maybe.
It's the ones where you spend like $200 to get 100,000 HC that they're like, yeah, nope, that was not real.
Give me that back, please. No, we're gonna we're gonna put it in the negative for you. That way you can never do it again and take advantage of our fuck ups.
It's like, we're stupid and you will pay for it.
Yeah, like I said, if
It's
something
like the
that ever
government. It's like pharmaceuticals. We're going to take your money and use it to build a vaccine, and then we're going to make you pay to get the vaccine that you paid for. It's the same thing.
Capitalism.
Oh, man, you want really stupid? Here's really stupid with that. Just 2 seconds. So most of you guys know I deploy overseas a lot, and you know the stupid tests, right? The self tests at home. U.S. What are they? Between $14 and $30 a piece, right?
Mhm.
Most places in Europe, you will never pay more than €3 for one of them, ever. I literally buy boxes of them to bring home to my family.
Wow. Capitalism at its finest, baby. Woo.
It's insane.
Okay. Not AOW related, but it was a fun tangent.
Yes. All right. Any more questions, right?
Yeah.
About your
So-
ether usage.
Get Sister Wolf. If you spend that on DS, it's kind of a waste unless you're tier 12 air.
Yeah.
Because even
Or you
as
can
a
just
utility
pick
comp, DS is dead as a utility comp. People don't run Rangers anymore. At least, they do, but only on rarish-ish occasions, and you can't effectively counter anything with it. It's something that you would randomly hit some idiot in a cat battle with maybe once. It's not an effective utility build even anymore. Where DS used to be useful till everyone figured out, hey, this is stupid. We're going to lose full marches that way. Let's not do that.
Okay, so then here, how about this for a question? I'm like what 1-2 years maybe away from T12, so I have to use box troops. I want to build a box troop absolute suppression commander. What commander would I pick?
For which box troop?
Doesn't matter.
Air?
Doesn't matter.
It does, though. Which tier 12 are you working towards?
Well, infantry.
You're working towards tier 12.
Infantry.
Well, like, straight up, as absolute suppression, the problem with absolute suppression is usefulness overall. Either you can put it on a utility set and incorporate it into a sweep pen build, which makes it kind of universal, but then you have to figure out, like, the absolute suppression part. Cassius and Full Metal are probably the most useful two commanders. You could probably stick it on and, beat more than one thing. Because they don't really require fourth skills. You're not losing a huge... they're not overly used commanders. So you're not wasting a slot that way. And they have chance to do damage to things like Reinhardt, etc., that you wouldn't be able to do with someone else because you would lack steam cannon and whatnot. So those two would be good with tier 12 walkers. Other than that, would be anyone with a guaranteed hit and high damage, because you want to make the build useful. So as a one-slot bust, so like Vega, Neko, Gilly, Medusa, even someone that you can actually hit someone with and not be useless just if they're not running something you're trying to tier suppress. Or maybe like a Rogers. I know Keeson uses I think Raj uses Rogers, to Rog. Damn it. I hate that name. I'm gonna call him Raj. He hits monsters with his Rogers using absolute suppression, I think. Or maybe that is Keeson. Or both. You just gotta find a commander that you're not really worried about the fourth skill slot and that can still hit hard. Also, Rogers does have a high damage guaranteed hit, so it's useful in that sense as well.
So Vega then.
Yeah, Vega would be decent if you're just planning on putting that into an attack build. But overall utility use is going to be lower that way. I personally don't really recommend building just a straight up lame attack build, because you had to put some work into the gems for a complete absolute suppression build, because you need like at least 3 tier suppression gems, high levels tier suppression gems, probably more, to get to 100% and like high level ambition. So you kind of have to have decent gear to make that particular set, which is why I recommend putting it into a useful gear set to do so. And attack builds really aren't. But if you're trying to go as cheap as possible, that's probably the easiest build, and Vega would utilize it well.
Vega it is.
Yeah, like if I myself was gonna make one, I would do Cassius or Full Metal, just because I would probably use a sweep pen set at like 40 or whatnot, and then I could use it to do multiple things.
Okay, that sounds good.
I like Full Metal option with being fierce person.
Yeah, I do too. Problem is I don't have absolute suppression, and I'm lazy.
It's so easy to obtain from what you call it, GGM, but I'm lazy too. I don't do it either. God, I need to start doing that. I need to work on that.
It's just so much time and effort. Like I'm over it. Like once I got to the point in this game where I was reasonably self-sustainable, I stopped doing as much GM. Like I still do GGM just because it's free stuff, right? And like if you're bored, you do tasks. But I refuse to do faction tasks. My Hancock will be forever A class until I get the 80 ether to get him out of the ether shop. Him and Sister Wolf. The only way I was getting them to S class was from the ether shop. Like I started with Sister Wolf because I use her more.
Yeah.
Hancock's next. Hancock is my next objective.
Not me personally. I've literally built up my art just to be specific fighting art. So there's nothing else useful for me. I mean, I guess I could work on another com, but I'm not where I want to be on my main yet. So fuck that bullshit. I mean, my main can do just my main serves dual purpose, so I can have fun with it. I personally don't like the All Stars and peaks. I guess everybody else does and everything, which is a good thing to do. So but you can always.
Oh yeah, no, I like All Star and Peak.
Practices.
I like All Star and Peak because it's useful for commander. Like if you watch replays, that's how you learn what is and is not killing what.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
The people that don't do that are behind the meta usually, unless they're also active other places like GP and Cassitan. If they're watching what people are doing.
Mm-hmm.
All Star is probably the easiest way to figure out, hey, that doesn't work.
Okay, I'm gonna build
Especially
because
it's a full march. It's also a full march in All Star, so you get to see what your actual leadership can beat.
Yep. Yeah. All Star is definitely more of a test and everything. So yeah, dude, I guess you're right on that one. Yeah. I don't know. I just mean personally.
Yeah, no, if it's not your thing, it's not your thing. Although,
Yep.
shame on you.
Shame on me. Yep. I just like to kill shit. Let's be real. I just like to kill shit.
I like picking those one enemies that are just way bigger than I am, but have really stupid holes in their setups. I'm like, okay, so what can I kill with this 20k utility commander?
I'm saying, and you can make a very strong utility commander, guys. Like, there's definitely some different good options to make for utility comms and everything. So, I do need to build me one. Cause
Yeah, I have two sweet sets. I have a plus 40 main sweet set, and I have a plus 30 sweet set, and I get just as much use out of that plus 30 sweet set in All Star. It's pretty awesome. Like, they're just as likely to have no RWE as to have enough for me to need a plus 40 sweet set.
yeah,
It's fun watching max leads go boom.
I'm not sure who's alive.
Do we got any more gear questions?
Anyone?
This happens every
Guess not.
week.
Every. I don't know why, man. We've got so many people join, but they won't ask the questions, man. Funny as hell.
I mean, we're at
It's
56
a lot like
minutes.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a good session so far. So, what are you about to say, Bane?
no, nothing. I'm just gonna make some bad joke about it, like people that are tone deaf and don't like the sound of their voice.
Do you think that's what it is? Stage fright. That's what we're going to chalk it up. Stage fright.
Stage fright.
Damn it, guys.
Look, all I'm gonna say is that if I see a gear question 10 minutes after we stop this, I'm gonna fucking come at you like a spider monkey.
Right.
I'm just gonna ignore it and be like, fuck you. Fix your own shit.
Like, we're gonna stop gear talk 5 minutes later in Discord. It's gonna be like, hey guys, what gear? I'm gonna fucking just come at you.
Challenge.
God, that's funny.
Challenge accepted.
Challenge accepted.
Oh
All
yeah,
right.
see, I'm gonna come at you.
Let me know when
What's
you
up?
So, were we gonna do a pimp my arc, or were we not doing that?
We were, but I don't see him in here no more. If we want to go ahead and end gear talk, we can. That way we can, I guess. Well,
Okay.
he's
All
not
right.
here. Yeah, he's not here. So.
Well, we're gonna end gear talk here. There may or may not be a pimp my arc later. I have no idea. Yeah, I do appreciate you guys coming through. The people that did ask questions. Remember that we're here. Yeah, every Sunday. So stop by, have questions, ask them. You're not gonna. The only person that's gonna make fun of you is Bane, but he makes fun of everybody. So.
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
fun would this be to watch if I didn't?
True.
Like, I wouldn't watch it.
I think you just watch it for yourself, man. You like to hear yourself talk, don't you?
I do. Well, that's why I don't understand why people don't want to ask questions. I'll sit there for an hour and listen to myself.
Right?
Jesus.
Well, I'll get aside though, man. Yeah, we'll go ahead and end gear talk here. Yeah, thanks for coming, stopping by, everybody, and everything. Make sure you go check out Grinch Gaming on YouTube and like and subscribe to the channel and watch the videos, please, and everything like that. But other than that, Neva's out.
All right,
All
we're
right, stop
out.
recording.